Hey guys, welcome back to Tarot God New World. In today's video, I wanted to go through some more advanced tips for pushing campaign. I've had some people ask me for this, so I'm not too sure on the format. Please let me know in the comments if you like this type of video. Give it a like if you do enjoy it, because I want to do these sorts of things, but I don't know the best way to do it. So if you look at my account, you can see that we've pushed into 18-24. Now we've just entered into our 14th day of play, and we cleared 18-20, which had an Evan Kell in it, at about a 4.3, I believe, X deficit on the team we ended up using. And I just wanted to go through some tips on that replay, which was on my phone, so it's a bit scuffed, the recording, but also on the stages that I'm up to, and just give you guys some tips with getting around some tricky enemies and stuff like that. So once again, let me know in the comments anything else you guys would like me to make. I'm happy to do anything, but I had a fair few people asking me for like tips on getting stuck in progression, so this was like kind of the best way I could think of it, is to jump into the hardest stages that I clear, record them, and sort of show you guys what we're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over here into the PC screen, and we're going to take a look. So this was 18-20, and this was the enemy formation with, you can see the Evan Kell, and we also got the Anarch in there. Those are the main threats for me. The others aren't too massive of threats. The Hammer guy can be annoying, but really it's Anarch sniping my main DPS, and then Evan Kell. Now with Anarch, there's two ways you can deal with her. As you can see, I was trying to deal with her by throwing my Karaka up at her. Now keeping in mind, my Karaka was completely naked, no gear on him at this stage, because I was trying to get him to die super fast so that he could come back quick and fear Anarch before she went and lunged, but that wasn't working for me. Like, it was kind of, it just, the RNG wasn't there. And then the other problem was, the big problem was, when I was doing that, I didn't have the damage that I needed, and I'll show you guys the replay that we actually did in a sec. But what I ended up doing was changing Karaka, and the whole idea behind this team was to have the Data Mashni on the left hand side to run straight up to the Evan Kell, to keep Evan Kell back so her AoE wouldn't nuke my two main units, which I need to live, which are Evan and also my Ihwa. That was the plan. Don't really care about Bomb, because at the end of the day, as long as Bomb gets his buff off on Ihwa, I'm pretty happy. Karaka was the throwaway to stop the Anarch, but you can just RNG for Anarch to avoid her and play it like that. We've also got Evan and our Ihwa here, who can then push those enemies back further to keep them at bay and try and stay to the side. But like I said, I didn't have the damage, so I ended up swapping over for Shibisu. Now, ignore the enemies, because this was after we cleared it. I just decided to take a screenshot of the team. So we ended up doing it with the Shibisu. So now what I want to do is show you guys that replay. So here it is, with the Shibisu in there, literally so I could get the yellow attack. He dies off pretty quick, but that was all I was looking for, was a bit of a boost there. So if we go into this replay, once again, I apologize that it is small and it is scuffed. I don't know why I got so scuffed recording it on my phone. It must be the recording settings that I've got on my phone. So I do apologize for that. So I've got it sped up here, but that should be fine. And you can see the idea. So let's slow it down a bit. Let's go to normal speed. So this is at 2x speed in game. So actually, let's just go back again so I can commentate over it a bit better. I might even slow it down just a little bit more. Okay, so we're running in. You can see everyone goes in there, and the whole team is grouped up there. Now we get this push, and if you see there, we do knock down that Anarch, and the knockdown on the Anarch is what stopped her lunging onto my my Ihwa. So that was another strategy that I used, and that's how Evan can be super clutch with that knockdown, because its timing is so good for so many things. Then we get our first ult off. Then we get Evan to ult, which is perfect. Now the Evan ult saves us, but if you look at where the Evan Kell ult is going to range from, and once again, sorry about the recording, but you can see Evan Kell uses her ult. We do have the invincibility during it, which is perfect, but we were also still out of range with our two main units, which is what I was trying to achieve, but the timing was good anyway. Then we go ahead, get this other ult. As you can see, we end up getting clapped pretty quick. Evan gets one shot by Hammer Dude. It looks like it's close, but we do manage to cap off the Evan Kell there. So that was the strategy, trying to keep away from Evan Kell as much as possible. And then just using that Data Mashni to keep her up in the corner and keep her there for as long as possible. Now, this is harder if you're using Zahard, because he doesn't survive as long against something like an Evan Kell, whereas Data Mashni can really lock her out if you keep your main two units that you want to survive over to the side there and gets it done. The other thing that's great about having a melee throwaway unit up the top here is they run up, they drag this guy in over to them, and then once this melee throwaway unit dies, he will then run over and attack the Data Mashni as well, leaving these guys protected. And then once again, we've got that Evan who can knock back. We've got the Iwa who can knock back. That was the strategy on that one. Now we're going to jump into the next side, which was a lower deficit, but I just wanted to show you the strategy that I used here, which is a bit of a clutch one. So what I did here, unfortunately, I don't have the guy with the needle and I don't have the green girl with the backpack. So what happens to me often, and this team was actually really tricky because I was using my Hwarian against this team. And the problem is she always focuses Wang first, but she kills Wang, but we don't get the energy because he's not dead because he does his revive. And then the problem was she was just running across and attacking Gray and then getting feared from Gray. So what I did was I slapped the Endorsey into this team so that she could bait the fear out of the Gray so that my Hwarian was no longer getting feared, so that Hwa could kill the Wang, then run over, start tapping into the Gray without getting feared so that she can maintain her shields and not just like run away and just get killed, because she kept running away and getting killed. And then when the Wang comes back, we can kill him, so on and so forth. So I'll play that replay as well. Once again, apologies for the quality. I'll try and only do this on stuff that I record on my PC, but you know, you got to play the game everywhere if you're going to grind. So it is what it is. I should grind it on my tablet at home. But let's go. Okay, I can speed this up. Okay, let's just watch this. So what you'll see is Endorsey doesn't even get her first dash, but then she goes for a second dash, and then she hits the Gray. The Gray wastes the fear. Now we're going to jump in, and we're going to go and hit that Wang up the back. You can see he's hitting that Wang. He dies his first death. Then we're going to go over and we're going to attack the Gray, but we don't get feared. So that's the big thing. We don't get feared when we go and hit that Gray. And that was super clutch. And that's what really helped me a lot. Then we get into our next ult, and then it's pretty much GG's from there on. Because now we've got the Wang down. They don't have any CC that can deal with us. It is like a 2-on-4 or 3, whatever it is. But basically, because we got green units that we are fighting against, we're pretty safe in there with the Hwarian. And yeah, you get it. She collapsed. She just does a one tap here. There you go. Job done. So that's another strategy. If you got pesky units in the back row with annoying effects like Gray, you can just get a unit to sacrifice into that back row. I notice in most of my teams now, I do play a sacrificial unit who is there just to achieve a certain goal. In the previous one, it was either the Karaka that I then changed to the Shibisu. Karaka was for the fear, Shibisu was for the extra damage increase, and this one was the Endorsey just to get rid of that fear from the Gray. Now I want to jump back over into my account and take a look at where we're at now and just talk you through what I'm doing. Now I'm not going to be able to clear it because I think this one's going to take a lot of retries, and I'm pretty happy with my teams here, and I'm just going to keep retrying them for a little bit to see if we can get it. But basically what we have here is, honestly, this we're just going to trying to brute force it. Often against this guy, I'll put a Gray in the back position here, in this position, because he always lunges to that position, and a Gray can live his lunge and then just fear him straight away. But when you have Hwarian, often he's the first target for Hwarian, so I don't even bother because I just know she's going to focus him down and kill him. So that's just different situations depending on what carry you have. Hwarian just changes a lot of things. But over here, we got this backpack girl, and we got to put Zahad there because she basically one-shots anything else we want to do. Now, we could put like a buffing unit, like Yellowy there, because Yellowy's there mainly for her first buff, but if we can keep her there for longer, it is beneficial as well because she has some control and stuff like that. So we are putting this hard there just to basically eat up that first one shot that we otherwise get faced with. Then I'm trying to use the Endorsey to try and group them up so I can get more pressure on them, and that's my strategy behind the Endorsey. But obviously Endorsey cheese doesn't work every time, so it's a bit finicky. The idea is I want to be able to group them, and then I want to be able to have my AoE supportive abilities being the blind from her and also the ultimate from her if I get it off, be able to hit them, but that would also put Hwarian's ult into hitting them all as well. So I kind of just want that group up, because if I do get them grouped up, then Hwarian's throwing of the of her staff is also going to reduce all of their swiftness, which is basically what I'm trying to do with this team. So I may change that up a little bit, but then we jump into the next team here. And this team's just, honestly, it's just a problematic team. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting my Ihwa, I'm like, you'll see that I've got my Data Mashni in the back row. And you might think, why would Data Mashni be in the back row? There's nothing that snipes the back row. So the problem with this team is we got the Huarian. And Huarian is going to focus my Ihwa pretty quick. And the whole enemy team is going to nuke it. So I want Evan to take some damage so that he's got the possibility to get that extra bit of energy so he can ult soon enough to protect my Ihwa. Now, Shibisu is one that I can probably sub out. And I may try something different in this slot. But I'm just leaving him there for now. But I want to jump in and show you guys like those sort of strategies that I'm trying to make work when I'm trying to push through this stage. So let's jump in and let's take a look once these loading screens get through it, if we can. Please loading screens, please. There we go. Okay, I'm going to slow the speed down as well because it's probably going to be a bit quick. Okay, so there we go. We've got the Endorsee group, which is really nice. They ended up leaving it a little bit, but you can see that at least I got a few of them in that group, and we can sort of get that effective, the blind, what I was going for. It's not working perfectly, but we can still do pretty well with it. So let's go there. We're going to hit him. As you can see, she always goes for the little baseball glove guy. It's just what she does. And you can see from that grouping, the idea that what there was Yellowy was going to nuke the entire enemy team. Unfortunately, they evaded it, so we get into this situation where it's basically accuracy versus evasion. But you can see the idea there. We wiped out 2 of them. We can often get down. The one problem is the remaining 2 units are blue units, which sucks. So then this team comes in. As you can see, Evan's getting hit. Evan's getting hit pretty hard. He's going to proc his invisibility. He's going to go there, but then he's going to use his ult, hopefully. So there we go. And that is the strategy with Evan. I wanted that Data Mashni in the back row so that Evan definitely got hit by the guy on the side so that he could get his early ult, so that he could protect Ihwa before the whole enemy team rushed her, and then she can get an ult off. And then if we can get a second Evan ult here before she dies. Ooh, okay, oh wait, I didn't have the camera on. That was my bad. If I had the camera on, we would have got that second ult as well, and we would have kept going. So you can sort of see the ideas that I'm going for in there. I hope that makes sense, but it's just those things of like, maybe a unit taking a bit of extra damage can get them the energy faster and stuff like that. Trying to put throwaway units in to disrupt the enemy formation, because often 4 units can make a really solid team core, and then your remaining units can be spread around just to try and you know, like your remaining 1 slot can be used just to try and counter anything that's going on with like a single unit that you know is going to die, but at least maybe they can help your team in some way. So that's what I'm trying to go with here. Let's see if we can get this one. Okay, we're going to get the... I don't even know who the heal went on. If we can kill the backpack girl... The problem for me, this one, is I just don't have the best element for this, because Hua is obviously good against the green, but she's weak. And the hammer dude... These 2 blue units are the ones that are real pesky as well for her. So let's see if we can do this again with our... okay, Evan got killed there. So this is also a matter of crits and stuff like that on Evan. Luckily... I know, I was going to say, luckily Hua survived, but you can see how quickly she takes that damage once she gets the eye put on her from Huarian. But... that is pretty much what I wanted to go through. Like I said, people have been asking me for tips on pushing at deficit and stuff like that. That's pretty much the best I've got at the moment. Let me know if you think of a better format that I can do this type of thing in. I just want to give you guys what you're asking for, essentially. So yeah, let me know anything in the comments and anything else you would like to know. Like I said, I don't know everything in the game. I'm just doing my thing and trying to push as hard as I can, and happy to pass on anything that I'm doing. Not that it is necessarily right. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.